it's been 30 years, and it must feel good that this work stands the test of time.
Well, it does feel good. We'll come back in the 50-year anniversary and see what kind of what we have to offer.
Yeah.
And it's great that people are interested and that we have the opportunity to do this and to like add, there's vinyl and there's live shows, so you won't be tracked or have a cookie put on your consciousness, and you can just put the tone arm down on a piece of vinyl and listen to Nirvana live in Rome or Los Angeles or Seattle, and you can it can capture your imagination. You're invited to come inside that world and experience that show. So, I'm just happy to have the opportunity.
And you said that you don't play Nirvana at home.
No,
is this going to be an exception, do you think?
No, I mean, the cool thing about being a musician for a long time, making a bunch of records, is that you eventually start measuring your life not in like increments of time or whatever. It's like albums that you've made. So if you ask me about a particular record, a Scream record or a Foo Fighters record or whatever, I'll immediately know what year it was made. And I remember almost everything about where I was and who I was at that time. So when I think like 30 years ago, what's that even mean? 30 years. But if you say 1993, everything comes back.
Yep. And
then when you listen to it, to me, it's almost like these, they're sort of like sonic snapshots, like in a photo album or something. And so when I hear the music, it brings back a lot of personal, vivid memories of just stupid shit. Like I remember that jacket that I had, or that stupid hat I bought in North Carolina, or the sock full of mashed potatoes that fucking Steve put in my suitcase
snuck a
and that
sock
leather
full
coat
of mashed.
I felt bad when that got ripped off.
I know, I was so sad. But things like that. But then also, again, I refer to my children a lot because they're discovering music in the same way that, well, differently than we did then, but sort of emotionally in the same way that we did at their age. and to see their reaction to this music now is really fucking cool. Actually, we did this charity benefit thing once, that Art of Elysium thing that we did a long time ago. And we got asked to play this thing in Los Angeles, or they asked the Foo Fighters to play, but we couldn't make it. And then the person who was putting on the show said, well, why don't you just play acoustic? I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to do that. But so I thought, you know what, maybe I'll call Krist and Pat and see if maybe Joan Jett will come up and we can do some Nirvana songs, or maybe someone else is there, whatever. So we were thinking about people to sing. And then I don't know who brought it up, but maybe it was you that said, does Violet want to sing a song? Or maybe it was Pat, my daughter Violet. And
I saw this.
Did you see it?
I think there was footage of it.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I'll ask her. And I said, hey, Vi, she's an incredible singer. I'm like, and she really likes Nirvana. At the time, I think she was maybe 14, probably 14-year-old girl. I said, you want to sing a Nirvana song? She's like, yeah, absolutely. And I said, which one? Of all of them, not just this record, of all of them. And she picks Heart-Shaped Box. And my first reaction was, what have I done to my kid to fuck them up so bad
that this is
the song they want to sing? But seriously, I was very proud.
Yeah.
And what I realized is kids these days, there's like this window in between the ages of like maybe 10 and 13 or 11 and 14 or something like that, where almost every kid goes through a Nirvana phase, and it's for a reason. And I think it has less to do with the sound. I think it has more to do with what it means, because I think it means the same thing today to those kids as it did when we released it.
Yeah.
So that to me is the coolest thing. And selling a lot of t-shirts.
Yeah.